Good morning, dear students. Today we'll start with the chapter Light. We all know that the sense of sight is one of the most important senses. We can see all the things around us. Now, what is that makes things visible to us? And have you really wondered that how do we see various objects around us? You have studied in class 7th that when light from an object enters into our eyes, we can see various objects. Until and unless the eye receive the light reflected from the objects, we will not be able to see anything around us. And that is the reason that we cannot see objects around us at night, because there is no light which can reflect the object and it can enter back into the eyes. So this all you have studied in your previous classes. Here we will study about some of the laws of reflection. What are the different laws of reflection? Now, if we start with the laws of reflection, we will see that first you draw a line. And when you draw a line, this is indicating a mirror. This is a mirror. So, when the light rays from any light source comes and hits a mirror, okay, this light rays are coming and hitting the mirror. So this ray which is coming and hitting, this is called as the incident ray. This is called as the incident ray. Now after hitting any polished surface or any mirror, this ray gets reflected back, or you can say it bounces back. Now this bouncing of light is called as reflection, which you have already studied. When light comes and hits any polished surface or a mirror, that is incident ray, and when it bounces back from the surface, that is called as the reflected ray. This is called as the reflected ray. And now if we draw a line perpendicular to the mirror, this is a line which is perpendicular to the mirror. Now this is called as the normal. So you can see the normal is perpendicular to the mirror. So these are the three things. First, the incident ray which comes and strikes on the mirror. Then the ray which bounces back after hitting the surface, this is called as the reflected ray. And if we draw a line which is perpendicular to the mirror, that is called as the normal. So these are the three things in which we will study about them in detail. Now the angle which is formed between the incident ray and the normal is called as angle of incidence, and this is represented by I, a small I. The angle between the incident ray and the normal is called as angle of incidence, and the angle between the normal and the reflected ray is called as angle of reflection. And children, you will see that always whenever these angle of incidence and angle of reflection, angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Okay, that is angle I is always equal to angle R. So angle I is always equal to angle R. This is the first law of reflection. So what is the first law of reflection? the first law of reflection is that angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. This is what we have seen. Okay, the angle of incidence will always be equal to angle of reflection. This is the first law of reflection. The second law of reflection is that the incident ray, if you see, this is the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray, they all lie in the same plane. Okay, they all are in the same plane. Not a single one has gone to the other plane. This is one side of the plane and this is the first plane and this is the second plane, or the another side. The another side of the mirror is the second plane. Okay, so as you can see that the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray, they all will lie in the same plane. So this is the second law of reflection. Clear, children? What is the first law of reflection? The angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection, and the second law is that the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray, they all will lie in the same plane. Now children, last year you all have studied about the images formed by a plane mirror. Now, do you remember what are the characteristics of images formed by a plane mirror? The characteristics are that the image formed is always erect, or is it upside down? No. The image formed is always erect. You all stand daily in front of the mirror. So you all must be knowing, you are quite aware of the fact. Okay. So what do you see when you stand in front of the mirror? You can see that your image is erect and it is of the same size. The image is of the same size. Okay. And the image is always formed behind the mirror. That is an important characteristic of a plane mirror. Today children, when you stand in front of the mirror, you just observe where the image is formed. The image is not formed on the screen, but the image is formed behind the screen. So these are the characteristics of a plane mirror. The image formed is always behind the screen. And if you remember children, there is one more important characteristic of mirror. What is it? Lateral inversion, about which you have already studied in class 7. What is lateral inversion? Lateral inversion is when you lift your left hand in the mirror, you can see it as your right hand. And when you lift your right hand, it seems to be your left hand. So, an image formed by a mirror is the left of the object appears on the right and the right appears on the left. This is known as lateral inversion. So, till here you have most of the topics you have covered in class 7. Only the laws of reflection is new for you. So please children, go through this video properly, and if you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you and have a wonderful day.